Yeah.
Hey y'all, this is Kay from Arrow Vegans, and today we are making a vegan chickpea alfredo. Here are all the ingredients that were used. As you can see, we have some nuts, vegetables, we have some gluten-free pasta, chickpeas. All the ingredients will be listed on our website. First, we're going to begin with our green onions and purple onions, and we're going to saute those until it's nice and translucent, okay? And during this process, I didn't put any like salt or anything on your onions. I mean, you can if you would like, but we will be putting in some salt contents after this. But it's really up to you as far as how you would like to go. I did use a vegan butter. It's salt free. I added some water inside the not some water, some oil inside the water. That'll be for our noodles. And I added a little bit more oil for these onions that I'm sauteing here until they're nice and translucent. And after this becomes translucent, I'm going to be adding in the garlic, yes, the minced garlic, and also the ginger. And here we are. I'm just sauteing until it's nice and translucent. Okay. And here we are. We getting there. As you can see, slowly but surely. Alright, so at this point, we're going to be adding in the ginger and the garlic just to add some more flavor. And we're just going to saute this until it's nice and fragrant. Not too long because we don't want it to burn. But here we are. We're just sauteing that along. And after this, we're just going to transfer it until like a side bowl. Alright, so we done with that. Just set that aside in another bowl. What we're going to do is add some butter and some oil to the skillet. And we're going to get started on those chickpeas. Chickpeas will be the main source of protein that we'll have in this meal. So we know we have to flavor that up. So we're using the butter and the oil. Adding the chickpeas in, and then we're going to season it with some Cajun seasoning, Celtic sea salt, and some smoked jalapeno seasoning. I end up adding more smoked jalapeno seasoning just to give it more of a color to it, to be honest, and just a richer flavor. That flavor is really nice. It's like a paprika sup. So we're just sauteing this until, we begin to get some char. All right, y'all. So here are the chickpeas. They looking nice and colorful, how we would like. Okay, this is how you want your chickpeas. We're going to get started on our butternut squash, and we're going to boil that just to get it nice and tender. We're going to add our coconut cream to the blender, and we're also going to add in our vegetables that we sauteed, which was our onions and our garlic and our ginger. Add that in. We're going to use a lime, and we're going to squeeze that out. Actually, we're doing the Brazil nuts. But after this, you'll see the lime. My friend ended up pointing out to me, like, why you don't just use the top to, squeeze it all out like I did. And don't be judging my hands. I've been washing them since I started. Washing dishes as I go along because I hate to have dishes left over after. Okay? I use 1 full lime. And then here's the nutritional yeast that I added to the mix. I really highly recommend to use nutritional yeast. If you don't like it, get used to it. It's like, no. But for real though, this really does add a nice cheesy flavor to your meal. And here it is after it's blended. My blender definitely was not giving what it was supposed to give. So I added in some oat milk just to see if it could help thin it out. Here's the pasta. I had to add more water to the pasta because y'all know I had it boiling for a minute. And it got a little bit thinner as far as like the consistency of the sauce itself. But I end up adding it to my NutriBullet, which I need to get another one because this joint about to go out. I feel like it just went out as I was using this, but this thing made the sauce nice and smooth, as you can see. You see what I mean? Yes, you need something like this. That blender was not doing it unless you got a nice little Vitamix. But here we are. I added some butter to the skillet. That same pan, I did not clean it off at all, and I added our sauce to it. all of our sauce that I used. Okay, here we are. And I'm going to be adding in the seasonings, which was onion powder, garlic powder. We had some dill. What else did we have? What else did we have? Oh, we had the chimichurri. I'll have all the seasonings listed. You'll be able to see, but look at that sauce. Look how creamy it looked. That thing looked good. And when I tell you it was good, it was really good. There we go. All the seasonings. Oh, and the Celtic sea salt. So garlic powder, onion powder, dill, chimichurri, and Celtic sea salt. I know I'm saying that name wrong. Chimichurri, but that thing was so good. That's my first time trying that seasoning, but it did what it was supposed to do. And it made the sauce nice. And here I am. I'm just, mixing it up as I go along. I end up adding some cheese to the mix. Add any cheese that you would like. Parmesan would usually go in this, but what I had on hand was Kobe Jack, so that's what we use. Okay. And here we are. I end up adding some umami in it. This is the umami that I get from Trader Joe's. When I tell y'all this sauce is so good, not sauce, the seasoning, I really, really do love it. It just adds a nice, like, it brings those flavors out, that all them flavors that you have without adding too much. And here are all the vegetables that I just nicely pan-sear. We have the broccoli, the butternut squash, and the red pepper, and I'm sprinkling on some umami and some Cajun seasoning. Okay, and I added the chickpeas to the pasta. Look at that. Look how delicious this look. So good. I only sauteed the vegetables for, I must say, a good like 4 minutes. Not very long at all. You can see they are still vibrant. It still had a nice crunch. And yes, I used all the parts of the broccoli. Every last part. Even in my peppers, I use the white part as well, because every part of that vegetable is nutritious. Okay? Especially that white part. And that a lot of people cut off just because, the look of things. But yes, this pasta came out so good. I hope you guys are able to try it. I end up, mixing everything together. But I'm telling y'all, this pasta was amazing. I know it looked a little bit scrunchy on the edges. I definitely didn't wipe that joint off. But when I tell y'all this thing was good, it was really, really good. So if you like this recipe, always tweak it to your liking based on what you have and what you like. You don't have to do the same thing exactly that I did. But what I can say is that chimichurri and that nooch did the damn thing, okay? And here we are. It was so rich and so creamy. So good. Holla back at us and follow.